Ryback Show starts now. Welcome to the Ryback Show. I'm your host, the big guy, Ryback. Happy Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. We are streaming live on Instagram and TikTok, the big guy, Ryback 22. Welcome to everybody watching the live streams over there. We are live on Twitch at Ryback Rules. We're also on Twitter with a live video over on at Ryback on X, Twitter, over there. YouTube, Ryback TV. Guys, super chats are greatly appreciated and brought up on the screen in between taking calls. If you want to call in the People's Podcast here on Twitter, X Spaces, guys, at Ryback, health, fitness, supplementation, pro wrestling, sports, and anything and everything in between. Twitter at X Spaces is the spot, at Ryback. Guys, if you're watching on TikTok, Instagram, or the other platforms, come on over here at Ryback on X, and you can call in, hit request to speak, and you can be a part of this show. Ask me anything that's on your mind. We could talk about whatever you want, guys, here on the Ryback Show. Show's available on all podcast platforms. iTunes reviews are greatly appreciated. If you've got a moment to leave a star rating and write a review, thank you very much. This show is brought to you by Feed Me More Nutrition, my premium supplement line sweetened with stevia and monk fruit. No harmful artificial sweeteners or colors for all people, men and women, he, she, and thee. FeedMeMore.com. Save 15%. Sign up for my massive savings program, my email and text message program, guys. On that, you just go to feedmemore.com. And if you want to get 15% off your order, you just click on that little menu bar and you sign up for my newsletter or text message, or preferably both. And just one message a week, one email on Wednesday and one text message on Thursday, with a huge discount, guys, that we don't typically make available anywhere else. It's for my loyal returning customers or people that do sign up. You get massive discounts. Huge. With it, free gifts. Today's a free gift is going out, a free Pumplex City and a free 10-count creatine with your orders today, guys, with the purchase of any supplement. So you just go purchase a bottle of my ISO Hungry protein or a bottle of my Shell Shock fat burner weight management formula with it, and you use the code that we send out with it, and you add the stack for the creatine and the Pumplex City, an $84.99 value, years free, all for just signing up for that. No spam. We don't give out your information. No multiple messages a week, just one email, one text. And anybody that's been a part of that knows how valuable that program is, and as far as saving for the people that love the products, the Ryback merch, whatever it may be. Also, get a free shaker bottle with all orders, guys. Just select that as your free gift when it pops up on your screen. Good to see everybody here today. Off to a great start this Thursday morning. I'm feeling very, very, very good. Health is just getting better and better and better. I've made some big strides on the shoulder on a couple areas that had been working on relentlessly, and like waking up feeling good, going to bed feeling good, having great weight training sessions, continuing to cut the carbs, and getting in better and better and better shape. As I've always stayed in shape, but I bulked up to about 305 was the heaviest. And last night I went to bed at 298 on the dot last night. But I've been the cardio's been increased and the carbs, and I've cut out the bread outside of when I do my cheat day on feeding time, and I might maybe grab a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on the carb day for Friday. But I'm just getting my carbs from fruits and vegetables now, and only in one meal. Pretty much one meal right before the show is my low carb meal. It's not even a lot with it, and high protein, the healthy fats throughout the day, a couple meals, and feeling very, very, very good, and will continue. I cut up very quickly and easily. I put on weight really quickly and easily. I did a bulk in a very short period of time, and just kept my fats and carbs separated as much as possible, and kept my cardio. And so we're on track with everything. Feeling great, and we're just going to keep going one day at a time. Good to see all of you guys. Hello. Welcome. Looking at your chat real quick. Good to see all of you guys. Welcome, everybody on Ryback TV. Somebody's asking, is it a rotator cuff or a different muscle tendon in the shoulder? Yeah, it's called I needed my shoulder replaced. Okay. That's just, I needed my shoulder replaced at 34. So I don't know what else to tell you. It was an everything problem. Okay. And I've got it to where it's damn near 100% after 7.5 years. And like, and I can't, I will tell you guys this. I don't think there's another human being that can do what I have done with this, with the amount. I mean, I'm talking about from a time and work standpoint, hours. I'm talking morning to night. Nobody, hours. Everything I do revolves around this. So it was an everything problem. And if you can't tell, I'm agitated by it because I don't like talking about it. And even people that know me can't understand with it. And I'm just like, do you think I'm just like doing this for no reason? Like it's beyond serious. And the pain was beyond serious. And like I just dealt with it. And I just like it's almost there. So it was an everything problem. All right, let's get going. We're keeping the TikTok on for a short period, so we appreciate the callers. If we can keep everything, we'll keep everything PG for a while. TikTok, the stream will stop at some point here, probably pretty quick. Come on over to the other platforms. Join on at Ryback on X or at Ryback TV on YouTube to watch the full show on that. Instagram is very good with the language, with freedom of speech as far as the lives. So hold on. We do have a question coming in. Somebody goes, what are your thoughts on the dirt sheets breaking Bray's cause of death? Have to wonder who is telling them this personal information. So yeah, and I knew that the day that it happened, that I was informed of what really happened, and that not to say anything, and I didn't say anything with that, and so I don't know who, as far as if the family, because sometimes I know TMZ, I think was the people. I don't know if it was at TMZ that broke it, which I have that just despise all of this. But if the family, I don't know, I haven't asked. I don't know if the family just decided to put it out finally, just so because maybe if not, people are going to speculate and how lies and different things. It's just it's heartbreaking. All of it, just the entire situation, and I wasn't even aware that he had a portable defibrillator, and wasn't wearing it. But like I even questioned, I don't, and I don't know if he was coming back or like wasn't going to be able to come back. I don't see if that was the case, how he would have ever been able. I don't think WWE would have ever cleared him to come back. I personally don't think they would have taken that chance with it. So it just makes you question everything. And I haven't asked, and I will I'll talk eventually once everything. And I'm hopefully reach out to Bo at some point. And I've just kind of letting everything like I talked, to a few people close to the situation, and it sucks with it. And but I didn't ask any questions with it. It's not like if they offer the information, great. But like as far as that stuff, I would imagine, I don't know if the family put that out or not with that, just to kind of make sure, because I mean that's what happened from everything I was told. And there's nothing, it's just it's a horrible situation. I do think there's going to be, and I've seen a lot of people talking about, the prior, what was the prior heart history, medical records, and that stuff is all private. I told you guys, WWE, we always had to get our hearts checked multiple times. And like they were typically, because they want to catch a problem, because they don't want anybody dying in the ring. Right. They don't want that on their hands. So I don't think, like, it's just crazy. Like, I don't know if he had a prior heart condition, everything. And I think I don't, and like, I'm not going to be the one that goes down that route, but I know a lot of other people are asking questions. And I think if you've just kind of seen what's going on in the world, and it seems like there's a lot of people having heart issues with that. And I don't know, people had heart issues prior also with it, but it just seems like there is an excessive amount, but I don't know what's going on with any of that. I wasn't there. I know a lot of talents in WWE, from what people told me, had to get vaccinated. I know I'm not vaccinated. No one would ever force me. It can never force me to do that. I'd make a personal health decision, and I believe in natural immunity on that, and with stuff that is rushed. And I thought we saw how that all went, and then playing WWE was getting money to play the commercials with all the superstars promoting go get vaccinated. Remember all that with it, and all the NFL teams that were partaking in it. I told you guys what I thought about that when all that was going on. I just think that it's very, they were getting paid to do that. And it didn't, I don't know what the connection is going to be, but at the end of the day, it just sucks because our friend is gone and a great human being is gone. And, but I'll let other people handle that. That's not, I just know it just sucks, all of it with it. So, but I don't know if they released that or not, or how they got that information. I'm just going to go under the assumption that it was the family that put that out, just so the facts got put out, and then nobody can make up anything out. You know what I mean? All right, let's get going. Take some calls here on today's show. We've got Mike coming in. Mike with the wrestling news.
Hey, how's everything going?
Going good. Welcome back to the show. How are you today?
Good. I'm glad that your shoulder's getting better, and I could hear it in your voice very much. I like what you said about, people asking you, do you think I just did this to have fun or whatever? I mean, you're always entertaining, even when you're miserable, even when you're conveying anger. You're always entertaining. But I'm not going to keep you, but I have a quick update on the Punk thing, quick update on the Edge thing. But Sean Sapp, who is the one reporter that did not follow up on the Wade Keller report last week that prompted Edge to record a video, he said late Tuesday night behind a paywall, he did a video chat with subscribers. He all but confirmed that it's going to happen. He's going to go to AEW, and that he said about Wade's report, time will be very kind. So I told you I found it very weird. And again, I'm assuming that the person that leaked the report to Wade last week was an authorized leak at this point.
Yeah.
Because it's talent relations is so small. If somebody was leaking that on their own, they would probably get fired because it's too easy to figure out who that person is. So
yep.
I don't think, again, I'll say this again, I don't think that they're going back and forth with him, even if it isn't to where it got to with you, because it got inflammatory with you. We saw what they've done to you and everything like that.
Yeah.
It isn't to that point, but they want to control the narrative when he shows up there. And I think at this point, I guess it may be he was telling the truth about September being his expiration date, which is odd, but we'll see. We'll see. They have the big stadium show in a couple of weeks, but when Sapp says that and he didn't put out a report on his own, which tells me he can't add anything to it. So maybe both sides are done talking for a while about this, and he's going to show up there and try and make it a surprise.
Yeah. Well, if the contract's up the end of September, that's still, I mean, it's not far away, but I mean, it's a month away. We've got 4 weeks of stuff going on. So as that date gets closer, I'm sure this will spark up with everything, but he's got a little downtime as far as getting ready.
Somebody that I talked to that I DM, and this guy had a really interesting story when Punk was still training in MMA in Milwaukee. He heard from people, and this guy doesn't have a big subscriber follower count, but he turned out he was right, because he had claimed at the time, and this was when AEW was still getting off the ground, that if Punk had to look between the two companies, even though he had all the acrimony with WWE, and he didn't have the reason why Punk thought this way, but he would still go back to WWE. And I can only imagine Punk was looking at AEW as a startup, and he knew he would get the money from WWE, and maybe he didn't want to be looked at as a failure if he went to a startup and they didn't succeed long term. I don't know what his thinking was, but he got that right. So he had said it's been an open secret in the industry since earlier this year about Edge going there, and that coincides with Dax saying publicly that Edge and Christian and FTR was more likely than people know. And then you had the Meltzer report Mania weekend that Edge had told somebody, a fabulous somebody, that he wanted to work with Christian again. So this is all lining up, and it's just a matter of, we see where the pay scale goes. But to the Punk thing, it just came out that they have video footage at Wembley of whatever happened in that fight. And for that to be leaked out like that, I would like to see if there might be a lawsuit here of some sort between the two parties, because I think that I don't know what you do at this point, because I think Punk's obviously valuable. But I don't know how many instances have to happen where, I don't know if you read the report. Did you read that Tony had monitors falling on top of him?
Yeah, I can tell you, and I'm not going to go into specifics.
Sure.
I know a lot of people there, and I'm not going to go into great detail. Somebody specifically reached out to me today and just said the Punk stuff is everything going on. And I just go, oh, I don't know how serious any of that is. And they just asked me kind of my status with everything. And I just said, I'm not cleared yet. And I just said but no one. This isn't. I was told though. I go, if there was ever a time to reach out, then now is the time. And I just said, I go, I appreciate it. I go, I'm always here. I said, I'm very happy with my life and everything. I go, I got to get cleared. And I just said, I've kind of held on to that from the beginning. And but I do believe that the situation, I think at first when all this started, I thought it was just going to be a work. I'm going all the way back to the all out stuff and the outburst at the press conference. I always thought that this was going to be kind of worked out, even knowing what I know about Punk. I think things are coming kind of to a point where, and I'm the same as you. I can, and I'll be the first to say it, despite our person, I will put him over all day. I think he's very valuable to wrestling. The problem is it's going to be, and at what expense, and can Punk exist in wrestling if he isn't the focal point? As far as, if Punk, and not saying that he shouldn't be a focal point, but like if he's not holding a title, and can he help, can he do what Jericho's done? You know what I mean? Will he be happy? And he's never proven to be able to do that, I feel. And when he's reached a level of success, and does he have to? I don't know. With that, you know what I mean? As far as there's a lot that goes on in this business, is why I kind of laugh when I hear about people that like even compare. Like I got along with everybody, and like I'm very I understand that it's physical acting and the roles. Not everybody. You can't always be the guy 100% of the time, and especially if you want the company to succeed. And like you need to be able to take some L's sometimes and help elevate other talents. And it's a team effort is in a very odd way, but you have to have a very good mindset. And I'm just seeing, I feel like hearing what I've heard and knowing what I know, that there's issues with him and other things. And like, you don't need to be getting into situations with people over and over and over again, with it. And I just think it goes back to the UFC stuff and that not going well. I think he has a chip on his shoulder in many ways. And where I also think too, I think there's a lot of talents that maybe don't respect what he has done either. And I think it kind of probably goes both ways. But I just know that if he thinks he can kick your ass, he kind of has a little different attitude towards people than if he knows you can kick his ass. But he's so, I'm just, none of this shocks me with what's going on, but I think it's more serious than I even thought, especially like this one. I go, oh, this is nothing with it, but it seems like there may be more to it than meets the eye.
Well, he yelled at Tony, and I want to point this out. And I think Tony talks to Wade, who reported the Edge thing last week. And if you notice, if you ever have time, and you probably don't, but if you ever do at some point, Wade Keller wrote a report when Cody exited AEW. And there was some very interesting commentary about Brandy that I think came from Tony. And that Tony, and I'm just assuming this, Tony didn't see her as an asset in a office role.
Yeah.
And he didn't see an asset on television. Also, the part about the tour bus. I don't know if you ever heard this, and Cody kind of referenced it in his debut promo back on Raw the night after Mania. But he called it an inflammatory whisper, which the idea was Cody purchased a tour bus that he didn't have the funds to really maintain. And basically the picture was being painted that Cody was in some kind of financial straits, which I don't believe that was anywhere close to that. But again, everyone wants to create a narrative if a negotiation doesn't.
So the hold on, and I knew he got the bus thing there, and I can tell you those buses are not cheap. Those because I looked into that even when I was renegotiating with WWE, even though they were that was part of the discussion with that. Those things, and you could lease them or you could buy them outright. But like even leasing them with a driver and all the insurance, like we're talking hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, like high hundreds of thousands with all that figured in. So like I don't know. I don't know Cody's financial status and like what he was making there, but like I don't know. I find that interesting. I don't know. I feel like he would have been able to at least afford it for a year.
The rumor was he wanted Punk money, which was the rumor is $4 million.
That makes sense. So, I can see that. I can see him. I wouldn't be shocked. We all want as much money as possible, and I can tell people that's not that much money in wrestling when you know what you're actually making. If your brand is making them a lot of money, but it's that wrestling is very weird with all the numbers and everything. So, and everyone's going to have their opinion on that. But that's understandable that he would want that.
Yeah, and getting to the point about this whole thing, I think that Tony was a source for Wade's column, just like last week.
Yeah.
If you noticed, you went to read the 2 reports from Wade about Edge. There's no way Wade doesn't at least gas Tony. Wade admitted that he has Tony's number.
Yeah.
So there's no way he doesn't ask. And there's no denial on AEW's part. And also, I think, too, when Edge recorded that video, the more I think about it, he's if he's telling the truth and he's under contract for another month, he doesn't want any appearance of impropriety just because, look, we've seen no lawsuits between the 2 companies at this point. I think Tony has a real case of tampering. And at this point, look, if you do things carefully in a way, let's just say somebody has a month or 2 left on their deal and you start trying to poke around, I really don't, as long as it's not blatant, I don't really see a problem with that because, again, you guys are the ones that are trying to make a living. These 2 companies are worth a lot of money. The companies aren't going to be hurt. I'm always for the talent trying to figure out what their best move is, even preemptively, right?
Yeah.
I see no problem with that. But what I was going to say is about the monitors falling on top of Tony. Sean Sapp has now reported that, and Wade Keller reported it, which means Tony did not deny that happened. In addition to, Sean Sapp is also saying that Punk was screaming at Tony in his office. Wade Keller had that. I want to say he had that a few days ago.
Would that be the first time? This is probably not that we would know, but is it the first time that you've heard of that being the case?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Which is very telling.
Yeah, the fact that it's out there and it's been out there now by 2 different reporters that isn't being refuted, it sounds to me like there is just because when all this started this week, I thought at least a suspension at minimum for both, and that did happen. It sounds like there now could be a preemptive strike on AEW's part to try and start painting the picture for. I don't think that they want to give him to WWE because as crazy as it would sound for them to let him into their locker room. Because look,
I'm going to tell you right now, though, and here's the deal in the WWE: none of the top talent like him there.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah,
I'm telling you, Roman's gone on record, Seth has gone on record. I'm telling you, they were all part of their.
Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, you get on the list.
Yeah, this is, and it's not any of their. These are all guys I got along with great, and I have a great respect for. With this, he doesn't fit in. Like he's not, and maybe I don't know at any point if he ever did with it. So that's not to say like you're gonna. This is where I'm just getting. Times have changed. 7.5 years later since he was there, or whatever, 8 years, whatever it's been with everything. They've got a whole new crop of top talent. With that, you have to be able to be flexible, and you can't have an ego in this industry as far as working with guys. And that, like the Punk he was in a position where guys were working their way up prior. With that doesn't exist anymore. They're now at and Roman's at a higher level. All of them, Seth, they're all at a higher level, and he's been gone with all of it, and everything's happened the way it's happened. So I don't see him having that pull he had with Vince at one point when he was one of the top guys. That Vince is going to sacrifice. Vince has always been very good with the locker room. Like you got to, like as far as bringing a guy in, like this is why I never have any worries about anything. Like I always got along with everyone. Like, but if you truly have like a huge group of your main guys that aren't like fans of you and your behavior with it, that creates a lot of problems. And the fact that he was backstage and they got rid of him that last time when he was probably trying to test the waters. But not to say it's not possible because he is a unique enigma in wrestling with his situation. But it's like, at what point do you say, like, I think the negatives outweigh the positives on this, unless he's willing to do good business and I don't know, so.
Well, that's the thing here. If he does, let's just play this out because I think that there could be some kind of agreement between him and AEW about we'll pay you X amount of dollars, but this is the no compete length, which could be a year. We might pay. Let's just say he has 2 years left, a year and a half left. We don't know. Let's say they pay him for a year, and then during that time he sits at home. They're paying him to sit at home.
Yeah.
Now, if you're the WWE, the obvious matches would be him and Roman, him and Cody. Like AEW left so much money on the table by having Cody fool around with QT Marshall and all those guys that they're basically opening guy matches, and that's okay.
They're just not. They don't have the reputation yet. They haven't been around as long on TV. Right. Yeah, they're at different points in their careers, and
it's like. Yeah, Cody's final promo for AEW, it just gives you kind of a glimpse into. Now, look, neither guy. I mean, I don't know who would have been the heel in that.
But I don't think it's a coincidence. Cody left. I don't know if Cody would have wanted that.
Oh yeah,
I'm telling you, there's not. It's you guys, and I know a lot of people. I'm a pretty easygoing guy. Punk is a
Right.
very unique individual of like just creating, when you got to go tell the Shield that I'm gonna like to try to create controversy. Three guys that I get along with great and knew from developmental a little bit. That like I'm not gonna like I'm gonna try to shoot on them and like all this stuff and like Moxley, Moxley and me have gotten along from day one, and he's gone to bat for me time and time again, and like
I heard him say,
yeah, so I'm telling you guys, like, this is the kind of person though, like that's the shit. Like I've never once in my life, I can't even imagine going up to three people or a person and trying to start shit like that. That doesn't exist.
well,
But like, so that's like, but that's the mindset. Like, and so I just think I always say the truth always wins. And I do think more people are realizing, like, and the stuff I've said and some other people have said that it holds a little more weight now than maybe they thought it did. So
one of the comments those guys made, I forget if it was Moxley, it might have been Moxley with Jericho when he left WWE, when he showed up in AEW, I think. But I think one of the comments was they were worried about Sheamus not being very willing to sell. They never mentioned you.
Yeah.
But I think that Moxley might have mentioned they had a concern with Sheamus's.
That's probably true. Sheamus is Sheamus is awesome, first of all, but he could be and he could be protective at times. I think earlier on he was more protective than even now. I think he lightened up as time went on, as far as being easier to work with guys, because he came in and he protects his size and things, but not like he's not difficult to work with in any way, shape, or form. But I think he'll make you work for it sometimes if he doesn't if he doesn't know you, if you're new. So that's probably 100% true with them being told that. And like, but Sheamus is a guy. If Sheamus, he'll sell and work his ass off for you. Some of my favorite matches are with him. But I think if you're new and he doesn't know you, he could be maybe test you a little, maybe, but not in a bad way. Just as far as like, it's like a guy. And this is how we were taught. Just so I give you a little example of what I mean. It's like if in wrestling, guys, if you're a 300-pound brute and you're in there with a guy that's maybe 220 pounds or 190 pounds or 230 pounds, and there's a distinct size advantage. And the guys, and this is why I get a lot of guys don't know how to work with big guys, and a lot of big guys don't know how to protect their size. And Benoit taught me this in developmental at a very young age. He goes, don't let anybody just throw you around in the ring. He goes, otherwise you're just telling everybody this is fake. He goes, if I grab you and go to snapmare you over, and this is Benoit telling me this. He goes, if I grab you and go to snapmare you over, he goes, don't go. He goes, tell me to give you a couple knees. Tell me to give you a few shots. Tell me to make me struggle, and then make me do something to work and get you over. And it just, at that point, I understood what working was at a very early age from one of the best on that. And that's not being difficult, but that's telling guys, but you have to also be able to talk to guys. So if a guy goes in there and Ambrose and Sheamus, and he goes to snapmare Sheamus and Sheamus doesn't go, it's not Sheamus being difficult, but Sheamus also would have to go, give me a couple knees, brother, then do it. Something like that to like make a guy work. So that there's a difference between snapmaring a 300-pound guy compared to doing somebody your own size. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With that, so that's where sometimes you also have to be able to talk to guys and explain that to them, which I always would do when I would work with guys. I go, if you ever do something, and I go to stop you, I go, I'm not being difficult, and I'll tell you, I'll talk, and so we never had any issues. But that's how you protect your size at different points and protect the business of that. But Sheamus is a joy to work with. But Ambrose is probably spot on with that when they were new.
Yeah, he never said anything bad about you. I just remember the comment, you were a sweet, sweet guy, something like that. Yeah, you've been very fair whenever you talk about Punk, in that he's very talented, and you've also pointed out your issues with him. And I've listened, I've told you all the time, I've listened to you going back to your first YouTube stuff, because I thought, again, you give us all a great education. I mean that. That's why it's great listening to you, right? But I think there could be something brewing between Punk and AEW, in the sense there's some kind of
buyout.
Because look, I say this before, and again, I tell you this all the time. I am so grateful for what Tony Khan has done for me as a fan, and I say this all the time. I'm grateful for what he's done for you guys, because guess what? Impact, all due respect to Impact, all right? They can't. Their highest salary might be $200,000. They're not a competitor. New Japan is great. A lot of guys don't want to travel over there. They're not bad. They're not a real competitor. This guy's entered the marketplace. He has allowed all of you guys now that are marquee players like yourself, like others, to have leverage at the negotiating table. That's what this, and I just feel like yes, he's a huge fan. He's like me, but he's got the money. But
That's not a bad thing either, though, to be a fan either. You just have to be able to distinguish, make business decisions, and
he's got to be. I mean, this.
but a lot of people like to talk trash and go, "Oh, he's a mark" or this and that. I go, there's nothing wrong with like I think there's, and this is like a distinguish like between fans and marks. Fans that love the business and they're passionate, I love more than anything. I call marks the negative, hateful people that are cynical and critical and just hateful human beings. And I always distinguish him like that. He's not a mark in that sense. He's a fan. He loves wrestling, and he's doing it his way in trying to create an alternative with that and let people make a living and give fans what he loves and his vision of pro wrestling while learning a television product and all this. But that's why I said like this is all good and positive as far as his year 4 compared to Vince's year 4. I guarantee you he has a lot more going on as far as financially with all of it, as far as what they're doing compared to Vince's year 4 with it. And he started it from scratch. So and he's doing it all in the eye. Vince's stuff was all private, whereas we live in the day of social media. So I just think it's what he's doing has not been easy, and there's going to be bumps in the road and all this, but it is, we have options. Like if they didn't exist, the options like this, I mean, I would be in a very, like, if I want to go back to wrestling, I would not have the option of maybe going back to somewhere big. I would have to just, go and just do what I do. And so a lot of guys like the Edge, if he would have just maybe retire early and, so it keeps, there's a lot of positives in what he's doing.
Well, that's the funny thing too, even before I touch on the Edge part of it. But I'm sure years ago you heard Danielson was going to go to New Japan when, I don't know if you followed this whole thing, and it was lousy what they did to him. He wanted to get out of his contract when they medically disqualified him, and he wanted to go pursue college courses in Arizona.
Yeah.
And they would not let him out of his deal. And so he had to do all his processes to get cleared with multiple doctors, physicians, whatever. And the whole time they were making him show up and perform as a GM when he didn't want to be near this because he couldn't do it. And it was really hard for him. And so when his contract was coming up, New Japan wants to do an angle with him against the Young Bucks. Guess what? Oh, wow. That's interesting. How about we clear you? How about we put you back in the ring? Because we don't want New Japan, who's slowly, at the time, getting more subscriptions in the U.S. We don't want to hand them one of our biggest stars.
Yep.
So that's the whole thing. They're the Edge thing. They only cleared Edge because AEW was lurking, trying to set up their operation before they got off the ground and got off on TNT. Yep. That's the only reason Edge was cleared. And by the way, I've said this a million times. I'll continue to say it. He's been one of my favorites my whole time watching this. I want him to get as much money as possible. But the only way he was going to get that kind of money is if there's another billionaire in the weeds.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, WWE, and just so you people know, we got screwed on pay forever.
Yeah.
From people, the pay scale jumped massively after I left with that, because when AEW came on, everybody started getting better money with all of this. So this is like that just having a competitor alone, just from that, like the men and women are making more fair salary compared. Vince and them were screwing us from day one, from developmental on, with how low they were paying and how much money they were making off everybody. So I can't, like, that alone is like, that's such a positive for wrestlers, for getting, because the pay is already really far off from other industries with it. So at least that balances out a little better. Guys that are getting 4, 5, 650, 700 even, they might have been on 150,000 downside before. So
yeah, and look, once if I'm right, if I'm right about this, it seems like a lock at this point. But when Edge does go there, he's going to let people know eventually what he's making, so it helps everybody else. That's what you guys do. You guys tell each other because you all want to make sure everyone else gets to that same point or higher. That's the whole point of this whole thing. But yeah, I was just going to say
the buyout with Punk is. I know you were saying if he has a year and a half or 2 years or whatever it is, and is Punk, what's his age?
He's going to be 45, 46.
So realistically, if he sits out a year and a half, 2 years, comes back, what? And you got to remember to stay motivated and train at that point, and being out and like having the money being paid. Realistically, what kind of impact could Punk make coming back at that age too? That's another. In the wrestling landscape will be changed even drastically more at that point. So,
but you know what it is though? It's a political. It's like, look. If the Young Bucks and Kenny and Hangman's to a much lesser extent, in my opinion. But it had the Young Bucks and Kenny agreed to terms to go to WWE. What's the first thing WWE is going to do? You're going to see a segment on Raw. Cody's in the ring. The Bucks are in the ring. Kenny's in the ring. It's going to be a political statement saying, hey, guess what? That little thing over there where you guys want to put together your matches, have more freedom on the mic. Well, that doesn't work so well. We're the only ones because that's what they do.
Yeah.
Everything is about perception, right? So if they could get Punk back, they put him in the Hall of Fame, they do the big photo of him, Vince. You know how they do it. It's all about, hey, look, we can manage this malcontent. You guys could. And it's just they want that perception of the fan base that's very gullible and that.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
That's just what they do. But one more thing before I let you go. But somebody else that I talked to, and I think you could see this playing out on TV. I don't think he's on the pay-per-view I don't think he's on the pay-per-view this weekend. But somebody told me that does get some stuff here and there that if nothing dramatically changes, Drew's probably gone. He told me this yesterday.
I was getting that feeling like if he hasn't signed a contract yet, and then this is where I tell people where there's so much stuff that goes on that we take personal as wrestlers from the lack of communication there. And I guarantee you they've done some things to him that don't sit well with him because we all have it happen on it.
It's funny you said that because he cited to somebody months ago. And this apparently he talks to a few people allegedly, but exactly what you just said, the lack of communication was bothering him with the company.
And this is one of the real issues. And you go in there and you try to be a man and talk. And I'm talking with Hunter and with Vince. And you literally look them in the eyes and you talk calmly and you ask questions and they dance around and they can't give answers. And this is where people, or they lie and Vince, I got Vince. There was something with Vince with me towards the end. And we were talking about the contract and the numbers. And this is while I was there. And this is before I knew anything with my health or anything with my, I knew I was bad, but I didn't know I was going to, didn't know I was going to need a 5-disc fusion or shoulder replacement. But Vince will try to just say things to try to to lowball you or whatever. And he looked at me and he goes, how am I supposed to invest in a guy, who's injury prone? And he looked at me and I said, and I knew he was going to say something at some point from the ankle injury with it. And I had the numbers and I go, I've been one of the most reliable guys 4 years straight. And I go, your boy Cena's missed. I had it written down prior and I knew the amount of time Cena had missed and I'd missed. And I'd only missed, I think, a few months in the 4 years total, over 2 different little small stints with it. And he literally just did a big swallow and they called, but you have to be able to call them out on their BS too when they do stuff. But it's very difficult to just talk to them sometimes and get them, they're always trying to do something underhanded or to get you for as low as you can, or they just want you to sign that contract and go sit in the bleachers with it. Vince and one of the old things was he never wants you to know how valuable you really are to the company, which is why I always speak up on it. I go, we are the company. That logo can't exist without us with it. So if you're telling me if we're not important, who is important with it?
That's what could be going forward now with Endeavor looking at WWE saying, look, the letters WWE are what matters, not the actual talent. We need a handful of guys that are draws and the rest of everybody will fill in paint by numbers. That could be the new philosophy that I was going to tell you. And again, I'm just spitballing here. I don't know this, but from everything that came out about Kevin Owens when he was potentially going to AEW, had AEW matched WWE, he was going to go there. And the rumor is WWE gave Kevin Owens $3 million a year.
Yeah.
And I wonder, because if I know that and Drew's in the business, I'm sure he knows that. And I don't know what Drew's making now. I would imagine 1.52 million, probably around that number. But I would bet you he wants the Kevin Owens number. And it's a matter of, okay, because I agree with you, he is not re-signed. They put him in a meaningless feud with Riddle, who, by the way, I've told you, I think Riddle will go to AEW when he's up because the WWE is not going to make much of an effort to keep him because I don't think they can trust him. And that remains to be seen whether they're right or not on that, frankly, unfortunately. I think he's such a talented guy.
He had a valuable opportunity. He's either, and he could. It's a lot of his future is going to depend on how he's got demoted. If he busts his ass and keeps a good attitude and does everything that they ask him to do, there is a possibility that they will start building him up again. but it's going to take some work. But if he's already have the mindset, and a lot of guys, though, I could just tell you, Mike, just from the atmosphere, and like I bet you even Kevin's probably thrilled that he got the money, but like it takes a little bit of your soul because you're that schedule and being gone, and I know that's like the stuff with Bray, and like I just know from all the conversations we all used to have, we were all miserable in the sense of you're never home with your families. It was like it's all the beat. We're all going through all the same BS on all of that, and it's like that. Unless you, this is why I talk about the physical acting, and like one of the things I learned is like, and I think with AEW, this isn't nowhere near as much of a hassle because of the way that the stuff is set up. But like it's that creative, the uncertainty of like showing up and like, God, what are they going to do to mess things up this week? And like, or like what the lies and the BS and the just the not having answers for very simple things. It's like it's just a very toxic environment in many ways that has been created by Vince with that. So it's like that money, like once you have like money, you have money. It's like, and then it doesn't matter if you have $1 million or you have 5 million, you have money. Like your basic needs are met. So then you come down to your quality of life and your happiness. And this is what happens once, and this is what happened with me too, where I was all right leaving. I had enough money where I was like, my happiness is more important. My health is more important than making a dumb decision at this point. And this is what's happening to a big group of guys there now. They finally realizing like, look, fucking happiness is much more important than any other money I'm going to make. So in this for the trade-off of this environment, because they're seeing, and Vince is back and nothing has really changed. And it's, it's draining. I mean, I can't, and I love the wrestling and the fans, and like there's moments, but it is draining with the like, and it just takes your soul. That's why you see somebody die young, and it's the stress that doesn't that I can't, the stress, and it's not the stress of performing, it's the stress of the atmosphere with it. And it's not fun, but that's why I say like everything with AEW and Tony, from the people I know over there, and I know some people really well that just say that does not exist to that extent over there with how it is in WWE. So those guys talk, and that's why more of them are willing to want, I think, go there.
Well, yeah, and to what you just hit on, it's just Rob Van Dam pretty much said it's kind of an indie feel, like it's a bigger indie in the sense that there's really not a lot of pressure there. People aren't really upset all the time. He called it, you know how straight shooting he has no reason to lie, but basically called it a pretty calm, pretty relaxed environment compared to WWE. But I don't want to keep any more of your time. You're always incredibly generous, but I was just going to say, the one thing I would watch with Drew is if they tack on the injury time. So far, I don't think they've done it because somebody said a while ago he talks to a few of these reporters. I haven't seen anyone say anything yet, but maybe that's their way of doing him a solid here. That if they're not going to come up to the number that he wants, they might not, make him miserable, tacking on like 6-7 months of time. And maybe they're going to let him go negotiate with somebody else.
But I'm going to tell you, though, just from their business standpoint, because I know that and they were going to do it with me before I left and walked out, was they're going to run him down if he stays. They're not going to give him a good send off.
No, I mean, right now and this is how I believe that he has not signed a new deal. He's in a meaningless feud with Riddle, who they really are pretty much babysitting right now. And like you said, you made a good point. Maybe if he does everything he's supposed to and they start trusting him again, it's like they put Austin Theory in NXT for a while because it came out he was trying to message an underage girl on Snapchat. So that came out. So that
I never even. When did that happen?
Oh God, that happened a year or so ago. So if you remember, he was on the main roster, then all of a sudden he's in NXT. And it's because the company and everyone else got wind that he was trying to communicate with, I don't even want to speculate in the age, younger than 16. Let's just say that, I think. I don't want to be, wrong.
I never even heard anything about that.
Yeah. So they looked at him and they saw enough there to hope that this stuff would go away. It's like, look, the Velveteen Dream thing, right? Now, I thought, and I think anybody that has seen that gentleman would have thought, generational, oh my God, talent that can do literally everything.
Yeah.
And what happens? I mean, we heard, I don't know if you heard about this, and you'll probably get a good laugh out of you if you haven't heard about it, but apparently Mr. Ethan Carter III had a little party at his place.
I remember seeing that when it popped up. Yeah.
Yeah. The Velveteen Dream was invited, which is nice. You know, he's invited to a party. I don't know, Ryback, if you have a bunch of your boys over your house, do you want them putting a cell phone in your bathroom and hiding it?
No, I'd heard about that, and I didn't know because they used to throw parties routinely, not a lot, but here and there. We had like Bray Windham, we had the big party, and like no, I'd heard that story when it came out, and I didn't know how true it was. But I could tell you, EC3 Hutter, I know was known as Mike Hutter from the beginning in developmental.
Yeah.
Like he was always part of the group of friends, and like I always have gotten along with him from day one. He's a straight up guy. Like he wouldn't. I've never known him to make up something like that. So
no, and Velveteen Dream cut a very impassioned promo from the seat of his vehicle, refuting this, but EC3 pretty much just wrote back very calmly, basically saying, yes, we know you did it. We know for a fact you did it. And then that's how he got fired. And nobody in NXT, whether it be management, whether it be the wrestlers, they didn't want to go on record that I think he put a phone in women and men's bathrooms or something for NXT. And that's how he got fired. And nobody would ever comment on that officially. It was all just rumbling.
That kind of behavior, they can't. If there's any pattern, like you got to cut ties.
No, and it's like, I won't keep ranting with you, but that guy, you talk about talent. This is why I feel bad for. Well, I shouldn't even feel bad for him because he's making his own decisions. But when I saw Matt Riddle, because I'm a big UFC fan like you, I love this stuff.
Yeah.
He's great in MMA. And he gets into wrestling. He's on the Indies, and all everyone's talking about on the Indies for a while was Matt Riddle. Wow, look how great he is.
Yeah.
And they hire him for a long period of time because marijuana still wasn't. Marijuana was still legal in multiple states.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to put that, which is foolish, but whatever. They finally bring him in, and he's been in proximity to the top of the card so much. It's just like he doesn't get it, And maybe look. If Tony can get better infrastructure over there, they could probably handle him, but it's probably going to be the same problems elsewhere. But look, I've kept you long enough. Thank you for the time, as always. Glad to hear you're getting better. And I like the fact that at least somebody is saying there's an opportunity. Because look, when you get on that TV, you've got such a big personality. I know you have a million ideas about how to, because that's the whole thing. You're so goddamn funny.
I was coming up with ideas in my shower after I had the messages coming in today. And I just just in case, but I go, yeah, I'm always thinking of stuff.
Right. But look, I'll let you go. Have a good rest of your day. And that's great positive news. I hope you're getting cleared sooner than later. Have a good rest of your day.
You too, Mike. Thank you for the update.
Absolutely. Bye.
Good deal. Very interesting developments. There's a lot. I think it's going to be a really fascinating year in the world of pro wrestling with things that are happening. And definitely the Punk situation. We'll have to keep an eye on and see. It seems like there's more and more coming. I got to say, I'd like to see that footage. I want to see if the footage come out, that if it's like the news. I want to see if there was a pie face and a front grabbing a guillotine front face lock. Like I want to see like what happened with it. Like was Punk eating an ice cream bar and came up and like Perry shoved him? What was the situation? I want to see the monitors going into Tony. Jesus. Like of all the places for that to happen, and then the yelling, if they're yelling at Tony, like that's you're putting him in a really tough position with that when that stuff gets made public with that, where he's going to protect himself. So very interesting to say the least. I've always told you guys though, and I do say this with a little bit of a grin on my face, but the truth always wins. You just got to have the courage to go one day at a time, to stand your ground and hold firm and just trust the process. And everything always works out the way that it's supposed to work out. And with that, you guys, we're gonna get on. We're gonna get the big sausage on, but I'm gonna cut this TikTok feed. TikTok, everybody, appreciate all the love and support. Come over to Ryback TV or at Ryback to call in on X Spaces, Twitter, TikTok. We're gonna cut the feed so that we can get the big sausage on the line here, guys. We've got the big sausage with his Spider-Man ice cream bar today, guys.
Big guy, give me a minute. I'm in the bathroom. Hold on.
Oh, Jesus.
Velveteen, look at this sausage. Look at this fucking sausage, Velveteen. Do you ever see something like this, Velveteen?
I thought you were legit in the bathroom, not hoping me and Mike were going to go another 5 minutes trying to drop a deuce in there. Legs out like Dumb and Dumber after the X-Lax scene in there, trying to push it out. Bro, I can't imagine if he would have been at the Wyndham Bray and Bose, their Halloween bash. They would have had me as John Cena pissing in there, pulling the big guy out of the jorts, pissing in the bathroom in there. John would have got all that. People were like, John Cena caught pissing. He was really young Skip Sheffield. If I would have saw that camera, I would have just done it. You can't see me.
I swear to God, I would have pissed on the camera.
Bro, that would have been the least of it. It would have been in the toilet under a huge pile of shit. I would have called everybody in there to come shit on the toilet and not flush and let him. I go, you want your phone? You're gonna bury your hands through all that shit and get your phone, boy. That's holy shit.
You want to see a dickhead?
Yeah, I forgot all about that. I don't get involved. I wasn't there, but like EC3 don't make it. I know he's not making anything up. I know that much. So.
Yeah, he's a man. I actually like EC3. He's a really straight shooter.
No,
man.
he's we're all from the same group of like the class. Like he's awesome.
Oh, he's from your class, big guy?
Yeah, like we all came from the same period. Like he used to. His roommate lived with me.
Yeah.
One of his best friends lived with me for a little bit in Tampa during my ankle injury. Matt Roby.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was friends from Cleveland. He was which by the way, he was a tinier guy, really nice guy. He drank like a fish out of water. He was like a pirate. He had a pirate gimmick though, but he literally just was like he was a Captain Morgan guy. Like he always was drunk. But I loved him. He was great. So, but brother, it came to fruition. He saw me through my whole ankle injury, like on crutches and like overcome all this BS. He got called as an extra to WWE when I was red hot and I was doing all the local matches. I got him as a local. He was in one of the matches with me on Ryback versus, it was a 2-on-1, I think, on Saturday on the cartoon show. There was not a cartoon show. There was a brief period we did a show for kids only for WWE that we recorded.
Okay.
And so I'd have to figure out, I can't remember the name. Does anybody in the chat remember the name? The WWE show, it maybe lasted for like a year. Huh?
What years would this be?
It would have been 2012.
WWE Saturday Morning Slam.
Yes. Ryback versus two locals on Saturday Morning Slam. He was one of the guys on that. I got him. So it was like, it was literally, because we always talked about like, oh, maybe we'll wrestle one day. And like, but dude, it's crazy that match happened. Like knowing what I know, like how bad I was with my ankle injury and like seeing him drunk at my apartment and then we're wrestling on TV like a year later for the biggest wrestling company in the world is mind blowing.
Would he ever like be like, like would he ever Hey, Val, I know you're in the chat right now, brother.
Oh yeah, Val, the big Valboski's in the chat as well. Val, welcome to the show.
We're a bunch of biological males. We just want to speak to another biological male, guy. Come on. Hello, Val.
The Ryback and Shawnee show. I just let you and Val talk. I'll just sit here and drink my finish at BCAAs.
He literally writes hello, biological ladies.
I love it. That's the 2023 version of Val Venis. He has to. That's what his character. He's very descriptive, bro. If he showed up on TV in 2023 and did that, I would pop.
I would die. He would be like legitimately. He would be more of a heel than MJF.
If I was Vince McMahon writing TV in 2023 and Val, we would do a hello biological ladies gimmick. I would then put him with like a sunny kiss. I would literally go. I would push.
That would be genius.
I would push it as far as we could push it on there and start like it would be like Eddie Guerrero in China with it, where he like at first like and just
one big guy.
The what?
The other wrestler who is like in AEW that was I think they're trans, right?
Oh, Nyla Rose is the other one. I follow. She's awesome. Yeah.
She's so cool. Yeah, that would be amazing having Nyla. And
she's funny as shit, by the way. She posts some funny shit. That would be the gimmick Nyla because Val with Nyla. I would have Val would be against it at first, and then it would be like this huge love angle. I'd have Val making out every week on TV. It would be top tier, top ratings every week.
Oh my God, it would be a banger. I'm sorry I interrupted you, big guy,
but you got to take real life issues and put them on TV. That's how you get drama. Like that's where Eric Bischoff controversy creates cash. Like you need drama on TV. People, that's like why the Dylan Dennis, Logan Paul shit. So like people love the drama and all the
You're 100%
bullshit.
right.
That's what like
right.
it's like all the punk stuff. That stuff needs to be playing out on TV. Like I don't want to. I don't. It sucks that all the best stuff going on is the backstage stuff that's not actually like going on TV.
Well, don't you feel like WWE is better than that than AEW? Like I feel like WWE they do spin some stuff, you know, and they'll make it look like a work when it's a shoot.
Yeah,
you know?
they are better off. Like it's like they did with the Matt Hardy and Edge storyline years later, or however long later, with all of that. Like, but that's where you got to be a professional and like go. Like we're doing this for the betterment of pro wrestling to go tell it funny, compelling, or not funny, but compelling story to get people invested with that. And you've got to have players that are willing to do.
I could do that. Yeah, I think about it. Like I was watching a shoot interview with Matt, and he was like, you know, obviously we did it for the business, and you know, he respects the business so much he would never not do it, right? But he's like, it was really hard. It was really hard to do
that. And that, that would definitely be, no doubt, very difficult to go through with for sure. With that,
yeah, but. I mean, like, bro, the way he found out, like, I found this out years later, and I was a huge fan of Team Extreme. Like, man, like Alita and Edge and
the whole thing was a mess. Yeah, it was just, brother. It was.
Bro, she was like texting him, and then he found the phone, and then like.
But that's what happens on the road when you're gone, and like people are around each other. Like it's a crazy. And you're away from your family all the time or your loved ones, and like, and I'm not condoning any behavior, but like it's a crazy, like you're literally living in hotel rooms like 5-6 days a week at times, and just gone to your home, you're in and out. Like just think about like the day off that you're home or the day and a half, and at that time, like that's what it was, like a day and a half probably. And I did that for a good period, 2.5 days home. But you fly in, you've got to like get your stuff all done, your laundry. You've got to get your bags all packed to go back on the road for like either a week or sometimes tours for multiple weeks. So like you've got to get anything. If you've got to get new suits, you've got to get new gear, like pay your bills, whatever it is, not counting at beat up and like try to get a workout in or any therapy you need to do. Like I would always go right to the chiropractor as soon as I got in on the way home from the airport. I had it so coordinated for me to do everything so I could at least like have like a day of just like doing nothing of
normalcy.
Get drunk on Wednesday night and just let myself and then Wednesday into Thursday. And then I would have it planned out where very good. And I'd get my bags packed early. I would get my bags packed the day before and everything ready to go. So I wouldn't have to think about it.
You wouldn't have to rush.
Get all your wrestling gear cleaned. People don't realize how much time that alone takes to be coordinated, to be professional travelers on that. So it's
I can't even imagine
that now imagine having your wife and kids at home that want your time. Like it's
no, I couldn't.
It's crazy. It's not meant to. It can't. That's why there's so much. The divorce rate on it is
the divorce rate is
astronomical.
Crazy, yes.
It's just like it's not. You're not there, and you can only be on the phone. So you're not physically there anymore. So it's like, what are you
saying, big guy? A shoulder to cry on becomes a dick to ride on. And it's the truth. And they say absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Hey, Shawnee, but we've got Val. Val says, I have to get into the shop right now. I will call in tomorrow morning if you're back with another show tomorrow. Have a great rest of the show.
Go, Val.
Yeah.
Come on, brother.
Good deal. Yeah, Val, we're here every Monday through Friday, man. I'll be on. So if I see you tomorrow, come in the X Spaces and I'll get you on there, brother, as long as you want. Thank you. That'll be good. I want to hopefully.
That would be awesome. Yeah,
he'll be fun to talk to.
Get Val on. Yeah, he probably has so many good stories, man. That because he doesn't. Really
and I won't ask for any of them. I'm horrible. I just want to talk to people. I just ask modern day stuff.
I know.
That's what you're going to be in to chime in with. Well, you can chime in. I'll leave you on the background to ask a question.
Yes. Yeah. I'll know my role when to interject.
Like Val, were you really naked when they went to chop off your penis? Like that's the first question Shawnee's gonna ask. Like Val's like, Jesus Christ, this guy.
Val, how much pussy did you really get from that gimmick?
How much pussy did the Val Venis character get in the?
Like we said the other day, man. Val was like a piece of my childhood, man. Like
no, I loved him, man. He was great.
you couldn't go like if you brought up wrestling, there was two things you were doing, like the X chop, and then me personally, I loved that. I would be like, "Hello."
Oh, I picture you still getting out of the shower, getting your towel, doing the little wind up with it. That should be your next TikTok, Shawnee. Doing the hello ladies with the Val towel.
Yo, that's a great idea, big guy. That's what
Bro, did they make the Val towel? Was that just said that? I'm like, that has a nice
I
little
don't
ring to
think
it.
So I don't think they did. They lost out on millions not doing that.
I'm gonna have to. I don't know if he's still here. The Val towel. I would have marketing. I'm always thinking of stuff.
Wow, that's
Bro,
good
you know,
shit.
I would have if I was a kid. I would have asked my parents to buy a Val towel.
What is it, like a jerk rag, or is it a real life?
No, a real towel, real shower towel, Val towel. And maybe it comes in two sizes: the Val towel and then a really tiny towel for you regular mortals.
I need like 2 towels to get around my belly.
It's like it'll come with a Velcro extension like the seatbelts on the airplanes for our larger audience. You can get 2 Val towels for the price of 1.5. You can buy it comes with a Velcro extension for our larger audience. But WWE would make it too, like they would make it would be Val's face on it or something like the Val towel would need to be just a regular like towel like TV, but maybe with the VT initials on it, something where you could regular people would still hang it up in their shower. WWE though, they always make everything too gimmicky. They would like have a picture of Val in his tights on the towel. And
on the towel,
yeah, and like you're like, well, I'm not gonna like.
But that's the beauty of all that old merch, though. You know, is that it was so crazy.
Yeah.
You know? I kind of loved it. I get what you're saying, big guy, but I kind of love that like weird 90s like.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that would be the Val towel, the beach towel that can have him on it. The Val towel, beach towel, you can have his whole thing on it. But like for the Val towel, the original would be the original towel like on TV that you could have just a shower with. Your everyday wrestling fan can get in that, can shower just like Val. Everybody coming, hello, ladies.
We have to have Val. Half of him is his real body, and half of him is like a robot. And it's gonna say, "Hello, biological, hello, biological human." Big guy, I got some news, not good news, but it's AEW came out with their card. It's like their 3rd card set, and it's called AEW Metal, I believe. And Smart Mark Sterling is on the major pod with Hawkins and Ryder, and so he's their producer, and he's also in AEW as Jade Cargill's attorney.
Yep.
Like mouthpiece. And I love Mark. He's a good guy, great guy. And this is his first card, like official card, since being in AEW as a wrestler in general in 5 years with AEW. So yesterday the cards come out, right? And everybody in the Major Pod private Facebook group is posting, and so somebody posts the card, right? So I'm like, oh wow, like Mark finally got his like card, like I gotta get it. All of a sudden they're like, look at what's on this card. And I'm like, I'm looking, and all of a sudden it says, I'm gonna post it to the so you could see it. It says Mark Long, and then on the bottom says Sterling.
Wait.
Look, check it out. I just sent it.
Let me take a look here.
Because you got to see it in order to like understand it.
So wait, why Mark? Okay, his name is Mark Sterling.
His name is Mark Sterling. No Long. That Long is on not only his card, it's on like 10 other people's cards. And apparently it's a mistake because it was supposed to be like a placeholder name. And whoever did the QC, like the quality control, they left it there.
Holy hell.
So now his first card is ruined.
Those will do well in China though. Mark Long Sterling. Everybody, they just think Mark Long. I add a Long to everybody's name. Kenny Long Omega.
Mark Long. So
I would just seriously repackage these all for China personally, and just not say a thing about it. If that's just me, if I'm in the marketing department, I go, hey, little flubber here in the States, not a problem, Tony. We're going to send these all to China at a little discounted rate. Everything's good, my man. And they've got the fucking red on it for the flag. Fuck. I would just put that's brother, that's nothing. That you just throw fucking you got extra long on all the names, but
Imagine though, bro, you waited for your card for all these years, and then you finally get a card that you can actually like go and buy from this.
Bro, that's all positives though. He shows a chick that his card, and she's like, "What's long for?" And he's like, "You're about to find out, sweetie." Like, there's so many positives you could play with this, though, even though it is a major fuck up.
You're right.
But it is a fuck up. It's.
But you don't know, but his nickname is the boys call him Silver Balls. It's a long story, but so we've been making fun of him in the group, and we put Mark Long Balls Sterling.
Bro, I'm not going to be able to. I'm just going to call him Mark Long Sterling from now on. I just think it's Mark Long Sterling. It's fucking it has a nice ring to it.
Ryder puts Mark Long ? And we were dying laughing. We couldn't, but like, how big of a fuck up does that happen?
I don't know how that. I don't. Typically, somebody you would think would have to like look at the cards prior before they go into.
Nobody looked at them. Nobody, because there was an Eddie Kingston card, and it was a 1-of-1 printing plate, which is like a very rare card.
But usually, like for these sorts of things, though, like I've got a ton of stuff done in having my business. Like I'm always sent a final proof before it goes to production, and like I have to like I look over it over and over and over, like my labels, everything. Like you typically get like somebody in AEW would have to have gotten these. But like maybe they looked at certain cards and didn't look at all of them, and like
maybe, I don't look, big guy. I posted another too on the thing. So this one, it's a 1-of-1 printing plate. Eddie Kingston. His name is spelled Eddie Kingdom. Eddie Kingdom, and it says Eddie Long Kingston.
Hold on.
How do you mess that up?
Because the first name and the last name don't match on the back of the card, and the front has the long in it. At least call him Eddie Long Kingdom on the front of the card if you're gonna fuck it up. Holy!
I've never seen anything like.
Bro, I'm sending these back to China or wherever the fuck these. I'm contacting my contact on Alibaba, and I'm saying, guys, we've got a fucking real fucking problem on our hands here. Like,
on Alibaba.
Yeah, bro, were these fucking made on Alibaba? I'm not. That's
Tony's cutting corners.
Tony. I'm a little. I really think it could be fixed. But I'm sending these all back. It's not that's. It's kind of funny though and cool. Like it like fans can collect them as a fuck up, but like I'm not paying that company for another round of cards. That's for sure.
That's the thing. It's like it's Upper Deck. Like
Upper Deck made these.
Upper Deck makes them.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know this was. I legit thought these were like an Alibaba deal.
Like official as you can get. Like this is not like my friend, like who's a designer making cards. This is like Upper Deck, like it like mass produced.
But I think that Upper Deck might be cutting corners and through Alibaba now these days because like this isn't adding up. But like, how do you even like just like there's so many people that have to like with a big company like that. There's multiple checks being done to like there's no way that these could have been checked and people didn't see these prior. So like
so that's what I'm thinking is like
something had to have just been rushed or not done properly. I don't think this is AEW's. I bet you it's not.
No, it's not. It's not AEW. It's Upper Deck. That's
what
I'm trying to say, big guy. They have no QC. Last card set, I told myself I'm not buying another Upper Deck AEW card because they had the same issue, but not with the name. The top of the cards were like bent. And it was happening like to everybody who got these certain types of cards.
I can't wait for my big AEW card to say Rye Front fucking coming out.
I said to my friend, imagine Ryback goes to AEW, Ryback Long.
Or they'd call me Goldback or something. Be like, what the fuck is this? The fuck?
Mr.
Backlong. Backlong hung.
It's wild.
And on the back, you would say the big guy kingdom.
The big fry.
The big fry. Oh.
How
Bro.
did you like my feeding time, big guy?
Oh, very good, very good. You're very passionate when you say it as well. I'm a big fan.
Did you like the grunts? I think I got the grunt down.
Very good. You've got to. The grunts just come naturally to me, though, as I just enjoying the junk food that I don't get to eat.
I know you have like, bro. You have like I was like a little cat compared to like your lion grunt. Like your grunt, it like fills the whole room with like bass.
It's a pure joy when I'm eating that, and because I don't eat that stuff all the time, so it's like when I get it that way, I'm like, oh, this is. I can't even like.
That's true. That's true.
It's like
true.
I'm not like I know how bad that stuff is, so I'm not going to consume that stuff regularly. But like, man, when I get to do that cheat meal, it's just like, oh. I mean, I'm not denying the food tastes absolutely amazing, but it's so not good for us.
It's so bad, yeah, I know. But those grunts get me. I laugh every time. I wish like somebody could watch me when I'm watching it. Every time you grunt, bro, I laugh. I think in my head like this is fucking hysterical.
Bro, I got to figure out what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I think what is it? Wendy's has a new loaded nacho burger in nacho fries. They've got a whole they've got a nacho line. I was going to do it last week, but it wasn't out in Vegas yet. I think it's out now. So
loaded nacho cheeseburger and queso fries duo.
Yeah, that's going to be tomorrow's. I got to see. I'm actually, by the way, did you see the video with the girl Bree Hunter that did the video with me?
Yes.
Girl with the big.
Awesome.
She's awesome. Yeah, I've known her for years. She's an absolute sweetheart. She moved to Vegas. And she's getting a couple different jobs out here, working at a couple of the nightlife out here, and like cocktail waitress and different things. But she's probably going to come stay with me for a couple months until she finds her own place. So I might be doing a lot of feeding times with.
Such a cool. She seems like such a cool girl.
She's fucking. I love her personality so much. She's like.
Me too. I could just tell she was so. Cool
and she was reserved on the show when she did the show with me. Like she was like she's way more like I want to get her on the show multiple times. So like her personality just completely
shows, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But we got all her important assets off the first episode, so. Helped with a little bit.
Can you just lower the left one?
Bro, I didn't even have to tell her. She already knew. She goes, she goes, I know what you need. She goes, I know exactly what. I'm just like, fuck, you're. Like, she's like the coolest chick in the world. Like, she's like, this is. Awesome. She made sure like the camera. She's like adjusting to make sure we can get as much legal footage of her chest as possible without like. She's like, I know exactly how far we can go.
The next step is to drop a little bit of sauce on the top.
She's gonna help me get my views. I'm shocked her episode. I thought her episode was gonna get as many views as Jen. The Jen one got 65,000, and I thought Bree was gonna get somewhere in that vicinity, if not more. And it only got 20-something thousand. The channel's so fucking weird with how I don't understand any of it.
Well, it's still going, right?
Did
Jen's video get 65 right away?
Yeah, pretty quick.
Got it.
That's the other weird thing. Like that shot up and then just completely stopped. Even though I had it as my featured video, which usually featured videos just keep going, but I can't. I've given up trying to fucking stress over it. So I did think about there was I don't want to eat all this much junk, but I was like, man, if I literally just went and did food challenges of like trying to do different food challenges for my channel, like Big Guy versus Food, I think my views would go up a little bit, but it's still not going to get what they should because that's why I cut back to begin with because they all dropped. So. It's just weird. 100%. Even like the Bray tribute show got like 23,000 views on here on that. That's super low for that sort of thing on that. Like that normally, like that's something that would be easily 6 figures like in the past.
Oh, what on YouTube?
Yeah, on that. So it's so it's just crazy. And I can't, I know a lot of people just for the amount of subscribers and like what the video, it's just a very weird thing, and like I'm just like trying to just live happy every day and like not stress over it. But I'm like, it's all gonna get work.
I spoke to Maven when I saw him. He was at the Major Pod event.
Oh yeah,
and so I spoke to him about. He came last minute because Ricky Morton canceled because he had like a delayed flight, and he was like, "Fuck this, I'm just going home." So they had to get Maven as a last minute replacement, and he came, and I was like, "Yo, Maven, what's the trick like with your YouTube? Like, what's going on?" and I was, and he's like, listen, he wouldn't tell anybody who the guy is who's helping him, but he's like, there's certain things that he's like, I'm just doing content in a different way. He's like, I'm doing wrestling content, but I'm like, he's like, things are important, like having lists and the certain way that you film it and things like that.
No, he has a really good editor. Like that. He does that. It's being
the guy, bro. He knows the algorithms.
But it's not. That's not an algorithm. He's just not being suppressed. I'm telling you that.
Well, that's true.
It's very. He's putting, but he is doing good content on that. But like, he's getting shown normally. Now, here's what's going to happen in WWE. Like, depending, he's being very positive on everything. Like, as far as if he, like, it'll be very interesting to see if he continues to go. If at some point
he
just
talks bad about that
or something and they don't like it's gonna. I'm telling you, you'll see. And I noticed it. That I knew the day that it happened on YouTube in 2019. I go, they fucking got a hold of the channel. I saw it. I saw it right overnight. Just boom, huge shift. And I go, fuck.
That's crazy.
And they're gonna, because that was the same thing with me. I was just fucking rolling, brother.
Yep.
Fucking $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month coming in on that thing with very few subscribers on that, and then it took a hit. So
I wonder, like, how, like, I know, like, obviously, like, these YouTubers, they get like millions of views and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I wonder how. I've heard that they make like some of them make like 200,000 a month.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, how is this possible? Like, how many views do you have to get to make that much?
I don't know if I don't know. I'm sure there are some. I don't know how many are making that much. But I mean, depending, you've got some channels getting millions upon millions of views on that. Like, but all their back, they probably are getting really, really high amounts with that because all the back content is still getting a lot of views as well. That's like my thing. I get paid for my back content on that as well with it when it's being seen. But it is
like the stuff that you already
every video that you make it's being monetized. Ads play on that forever. So it's like like everything I'm doing now, and I go back, like everybody just starts watching all the stuff that was suppressed. Like that, I'm just going to get checks every month for loads. Like it's just going to keep going up with it.
That is
I've got so many hours of footage on here of everything that people still go back and watch, and like the long form podcasts are probably the least viewed as far as because it's a longer time commitment. But like the shorter shows on that, but there's people still that go back and watch all the fucking podcasts. I see.
Well, I started to like. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I just wanted to get to know you a little.
Yeah.
better,
So, but that adds up. Like, if you got enough people doing that, and they're not going to watch every episode, but it like, it adds up, man. So that's where like people. That's why I'm so passionate about that. I go, this is literally like it's a major revenue stream. Like it takes a lot of work though, but people like that's why like I was heartbroken when my guy that was with me from the beginning passed away earlier this year. That was my editor. He was a wizard. He was the magic behind everything. Like I just had to work, and then I would have to explain some things to him. But like he got the hang of it pretty quick. Whereas like I don't have him there, so I have to like the amount of work I have to do is a little more on my end, and I'm not good at certain things with that. But it's and I'll have to get a replacement eventually. But Maven has a good like Maven just has to record the content, and that guy puts it all together. Like I guarantee, like he's got a good guy.
Yeah, like the guy. He said the guy actually doesn't have a job. His only job, he has other YouTube channels that he makes money off of. So like this is his job. It's like his only job. If that was my only job, I would be good at it too. You know? So but it's like these guys like Mr. Beast, like they know, and I know it's the suppression with you, big guy. I'm just saying in general.
Yeah.
Like in general, they know the algorithm. They know what to put in the tags when you upload a video.
Oh yeah, I had to learn all of that. That's what I spent in like the tagging and like how important that all is with all of that. And like I used it was called, I think it's called vidIQ. I used them for years and learned a bunch of stuff off that and used other channels and like and like that's where the suppression, I knew it wasn't even bypassing that. I've paid companies that are specifically able to get you views, real views. They can't get me views. They give me my money back.
Wow.
Because they're being blocked by YouTube on it when this is they work with YouTube on it. This is why I'm not like just making stuff up. I literally, there was one company, there's one video I have. It was last year. It was a Burger King. It was the ghost pepper. I did it on an Impossible burger. I hadn't gone back to eating meat yet. I was still a vegetarian, but it was a new ghost pepper burger I did on the Impossible burger I paid a company a lot of money. That was the only video they were able to get to fall into the algorithm, and it got almost 500,000 views. YouTube stopped it, though, abruptly, and they stopped that company from doing any of the videos. And I'd already tried multiple other companies that weren't successful. They were the only company that were able to get one video to fall into the algorithm. YouTube stopped it immediately, and then and prevented them. They had to give me the remainder of my money back for the other 4 videos they owed me on it because they couldn't YouTube. They were not allowed to promote my videos.
That is like
yes.
insane.
This is why I'm not just fucking like making this stuff up to like say, oh, I'm a victim. Like I am legitimately being held back on purpose from this because WWE doesn't want me making the money with it because they know with they're trying to put me in they know my health. They're trying to put me in a difficult position with it and do like Vince, it's all a fucking game to him. But luckily I've been all right. Like I'm out of it, but it's like, it's all going to be made up, but it's cost me. I'm not even kidding when I'm telling you overall, easily 7 figures, well into the 7 figures with what they've cost me with all of this. So
holy shit,
yeah,
man. I'm sorry.
no, but
man.
I'm not. It's just fucking money. Money comes and goes. Like I'm fine. I have a great fucking life.
It
like,
still sucks. It's more than just money.
but it's being done to mentally. I know why it's being done. He's trying to mentally destroy me, and he can't beat me. I'm mentally much stronger than him. So it's like that's why I said like you can take everything from me. I'll find a way to be. I was happy when I was wiping my ass with a t-shirt, living in a fucking little studio apartment, fucking drinking alcohol. I'll find a way to fucking be happy no matter what. That's where I'm this is why I'm fighting, and I go, I'm gonna get my health back. I've been blessed, and I'm gonna win, and I prove to everybody my mindset. And you don't give up when you believe in something. So.
I bet you Vince has put a couple of recorders in some bathrooms.
Fuck. I can only imagine. Brother, that was always the rumor in WWE. I used to talk to people by the ring all the time because I always was told Vince had microphones all in the ring to record the conversations. So I would legitimately go talk shit by the microphones by the ring. I would go. I would just fucking show them. I don't give a fuck. You want to hear what we're fucking talking about? I'm at least going to be a man about it. I'll do it right. I used to go to the ring when I was going to go fucking say what I wanted to say. I would go, and the other guys would even get like, "Go, don't fucking worry. You don't have to say anything. Let me do all the talking."
I'm just thinking if I'm your opponent and all of a sudden you go into the corner and you're like, fuck you, you pussy. You're talking to like air and they're like, what the fuck is Ryback doing? Is he crazy?
No, but they would legitimately, they people that I was told, but there's people that have been there for many years that Kevin, Dunn, and Vince, they have strategically have things placed around the arenas to pick up conversations and to fucking to know what the fuck is going on with the talent.
That's crazy. That's beyond.
That's invading privacy in many ways with that.
Oh my God.
But how would they're why wouldn't that's what they're fucking in those rings, like they have the sound, the mics under there picking up everything too. Like that's why. So
just a quick story and I'll let you go. I left my my old brokerage that I used to work at. I was there for 3 years, me and my wife. And the broker that owned it was so controlling. It was beyond like unreal. But we were a good fit because I was great at what I do, and he, even though he was crazy, he was great at what he did as well. But at the end, he was putting cell phone blockers in the actual office so that the people that work on our loans couldn't go on their cell phones. And I'm like, this is not legal. Like, I would go in the office and my phone would just stop working, and I was like, what the hell? Like,
it's like when you go on airplanes and your Wi-Fi stops working. Like
exactly.
Yeah.
And we were like, why is it all of a sudden not working? And all of a sudden people bitched about it to the HR lady, and a week later everything was fine.
Wow. I always wondered that. I could always tell when that stuff, like there's places where the cell phone blockers kick in and they either want you to join their Wi-Fi or they've got, you got to pay, like in the airport. And I just go, what if that's the one thing airports there's a ton in airports where your phone stops working. I go, what a fucking so odd. But I'm like, I feel like they're doing that so you have to go on their Wi-Fi and they're tracking then everything. Some weird.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible, but some people have other motives. But thanks, big guy. I'll let somebody else get on.
All right, buddy.
Thanks for having me on. Have a great day.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.
Later, man. Later.
Shawnee, ladies and gentlemen, the big sausage. The big sausage. Take a look at the chat here real quick. Thank you all. Appreciate all the support over here. Let's see. We'll take one more caller for the day. Unless it's a horrible caller, then we might have to take two. Get Jay on. Jay, welcome to the Ryback Show.
Yo, what's up?
Not much. How are you doing today?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm well, thank you. What's on your mind?
Not much, man. I'm just driving. Yeah, man. I've been trying to get out for a while, dude. I had to download this shit and everything. Sorry, man. Yo, dude, I'm a big fan, Ryback. Y'all been watching wrestling for years, man.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you very much. I'm glad I'm able to get on here and talk to some of you guys.
Awesome. Yeah, man. It's awesome to talk to you, man. It's cool how you do that, dude. It really is. I don't see any other wrestlers doing that shit.
Thank you.
Listen, man. I was thinking, I know you don't like talking about this, dude, because I know you have your priorities set with your injury and everything, or getting out of it. But would you ever think about like going to like AEW just to get your name out there, just to keep it relevant? I mean, it already is enough, but just more. What if you went to just do commentary, just be like a surprise commentary, new commentary, and then like until your injury got better or you were cleared, and then start a storyline with that, like somebody starting a feud with like the commentary Ryback.
I think I don't want to be around it if I'm not doing it right now. I think though there's in wrestling, there's truly special moments. I'm just telling you, with what I've had to overcome to get my health back, I would hate myself if I went back just to go do fucking commentary.
Well, I'm just saying, just as like,
but I would be being selfish and taking away a very cool special moment that if I can come back in a really cool, surprising way of some shape or form and be back, to me, that you only have one opportunity to do that. That would be wasted for me coming out in a fucking suit to go do commentary or whatever. Like, it's not, I think my character I've just overcome too much. I was like, if I can't do it, it's all or nothing. If I'm back after my career is over and then commentary, that's different. I think I would do very well at that. I just think that, like, I think right now in being around it, I've distanced myself to get my health, and like I've had to with it. Like I want to do, I think there's an opportunity to do something special. So that's kind of why, like, I have the mindset on it that I do.
Right.
No,
that makes sense.
Yeah. It's not the same if I'm sitting on commentary and I'm not, it's not the same. And so I like the creative aspect. I've given a lot of thought. I just think there's an opportunity to do something special at some point in time, and we'll see. Yeah.
Right. No, it would be surprising just to have, like you said, a big, huge surprise comeback.
So, like, I'll give you another example, because this is how my mind works. So CM Punk, all the drama's going on with everything with CM Punk, right? And they've got to do with the all out in Chicago with it. So this would be this isn't happening. I'm not coming back right now. But like, say Ricky Starks is in the ring because he has a program going on with Punk, and he's cutting a heel promo on fucking Chicago and Punk and getting the shit booed out of him. And then Punk's music hits, but it's me, but I'm in the fucking hoodie and I got a face mask on. You don't know it's me though. And it's but me, and he's planned it out, and he thinks it's fucking his little somebody playing the role of CM Punk, and he's gonna fucking embarrass him in Chicago. And he's cutting his heel promo, and I'm behind him as the mystery Punk character, but everybody knows it's not Punk. And then Ricky kind of fucking comes to me. Look, he goes, "You're not a little bigger than the guy that I had early, whatever," and then do the fucking big reveal, and it's me, and I fucking shell shock Ricky in Chicago, and then we leave the fucking question: is Ryback back for fucking Punk? Is Ryback just fucking shutting Ricky up for one night only because of the past? Like, but something like where it'd be like, holy shit, what the fuck is going on? Like, that's how my mind works. That's a way better return than, hey, we've got Ryback making his return to fucking talk. Like,
no,
you know what I mean?
The only way I mentioned the commentary was because just to get you back, because damn, it would get wild. Like, yo, I'm back with it. But then to have a storyline break out of that, be like, yo, you'd be like, fuck this commentary shit. Come out and like this is what I'm made to do.
But I'm just saying that. But there's only one moment to come back to make it really cool, like something surprise. Gotcha. So that's where I think for wrestling needs more of those moments. So like I'm kind of holding off because I don't need the money, and I'm trying to get my health back desperately. So that and we're almost there. Like, I'm very close. I'm very healthy. So but I've just got to get cleared, and we've got a little more work to do. But it's if I was told I could never wrestle again, I would definitely and I knew that I could never wrestle again, then that would have been done a long time ago. I would have made efforts to try to do that. So
right, yeah. Absolutely. Oh, hell yeah, man. And another thing, man, what's up with the video games? You don't do that anymore?
I haven't been. I've just needed to take a break. I do this show 5 days a week. I got the feeding time video, my voice, and then I need a little breaks. And you got to remember, I'm constantly dealing with people. I've got my business, so I just need little breaks on the weekend, man, to not like as fun as it can be. It's just I just need little breaks.
Yeah, no, I was, man, I was gonna play you one day, but you just haven't been on for a while. But yeah, man, that's cool. I understand that. You're gonna have something take out the game, Like,
yeah, I'll be back on eventually on there. I've got the game right behind me, so it'll be back on at some point.
Yeah, hell yeah, big guy. Well, yeah, man. Well, thank you for having me on, man. I've been waiting to do this for a while, so it's nice.
You're welcome, buddy. You're welcome on any time, and I appreciate the good question.
Absolutely, man.
You have a good day. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Ryback.
Good deal. Thank you, Jay. Yeah, not everybody hears everything. I do know, guys, sometimes, and some people, they don't. It's crazy. Like, in 7.5 years, I have, I explain things a lot, but if you don't listen to everything all the time, or like the content's not being pushed out constantly. So, it's like Twitter. I've got 1.35 million followers, down from 1.7, like to remind people of that. And, the show only goes out to a couple thousand people every day on there with it. And we've got, 200 or 300 that'll join in and listen. And those are great numbers. But, I'm not reaching that many people, even though I've got a massive, literally one of the biggest social media followings in all of wrestling when you combine all of the accounts from YouTube and TikTok. I'm the most followed on TikTok of any wrestler that's active out there. Only The Rock and Cena are ahead of me. I haven't been on TV in 7.5 years. So I don't think people understand fully, and that the stuff is just not getting pushed out to like what it is and should, and what it was at one point. So, but it will all be made up. The key is just keep going. And like I tell people, it's a slingshot being pulled back, and it's being loaded more and more every day. And it's gonna be released at the right time. Let's see here. Where are we at in the show? With that, guys, I think we're gonna wrap up today's show. I've got to get a lot done here, and I've got a busy day in front of me with everything. We will be back tomorrow. Hopefully Val Venis has time to come on tomorrow, and we'll get him on. We'll see if Shawnee is available. Maybe have Shawnee join in at some point with it, and have another great one with you guys. I appreciate all the love and support. Check out my Feed Me More Nutrition on feedmemore.com. Guys, on that, get a free shaker bottle with your orders. Save 15% signing up for my email and text message program under the menu bar. Just click on that hamburger menu bar, click on newsletter or text message. I would sign up for both. It's our massive savings program. You get a huge discount every week. One message, no spam. And also, iTunes reviews are greatly appreciated. If you guys got a moment to go leave an iTunes review, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's have a good one, guys. Until next time, my friends, stay hungry. Feed me more.
Hey, Rybackers, don't forget to hit that like button, smash that subscribe, and shell shock those notifications for the best supplements on the planet with Feed Me More Nutrition and all the latest cool new Ryback merch. Visit feedmemore.com.